I'm delighted to be here with kickboxing and MMA legend Alistair Overeem. Now, I have so much respect for you because you've been in with all the heaviest hitters in the world, but you've taken it one step further by going toe-to-toe with an alligator. I remember seeing the UFC 360 front cover. Tell me what that experience was like. It must have been terrifying.
It actually was not, because his mouth was duct taped, which they photoshopped out after the fact. But actually, you know, to go on, continue on the story, my brother had alligators. So I was kind of, and I was living in Florida. So then you sometimes go to Alligator Valley, right? You go, is it swimming? No, you don't swim, but you go on the boat and they're everywhere, right? No fear for alligators.
It's no fear of alligators.
Crocodiles would be a different story, but alligators any day of the week.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, a lot of people were scared of you, even if you're not scared of alligators. I mean, you used to come out in Japan with the sledgehammer. Tell me about the origin of that sledgehammer, and you still have it to this day.
Still have the sledgehammer. It's, where is it? Somewhere, actually. It's in the Netherlands, I believe. Now, the origins was more linked to the nickname I had back then, which was Demolition Man. You're going to get in there with Demolition Man. He's going to demolition you. And with that came the Demolition Hammer.
And can you tell me a little bit about your time in Japan? What is the craziest story you have from that period of your life?
Well, many stories from Japan. I've been there more than 70 times. So it spanned, 12 years, 1999 to 2011. One of the craziest stories, well, had the sushi competition with like a really tiny Japanese girl. I think 45 kgs, maybe 43 kgs at most. Which I remember that the television show that invited me, we're going to eat some sushi competition. And I was also like quite bigger. And okay, who am I going to compete against them? Yes, this champion. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, her? 43 kilograms, 42. Small, tiny lady girl. And but once we're sitting on that table and we're looking at each other face to face and the cameras are about to start rolling, I can kind of tell, hey, she doesn't have an earlobe. Her teeth are a little bit different. And I'm starting to get second guess the whole situation. Okay, there was a conveyor belt. You grab the plate and you take the sushi and you eat the sushi, right? And at the end of the competition starts, so she's just grabbing plates, just putting it in her mouth, swallowing it down. Plates rack up, first row, second row, and she had almost a third row of plates of sushi she just put in her mouth and chewed away. I had a little over half of her dishes, and I was so sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat sushi for maybe 6 months after that. So I got annihilated by this 43 kilogram, I think it's still on YouTube somewhere, Alistair Overeem sushi. Yeah, but anyways, that was a funny story.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try and find that on YouTube. I mean, while you're in Japan, I think a fight that everyone wanted to see was you versus Fedor Emelianenko. How do you think that fight would have gone?
Well, we tried to make the fight happen in 2010, 2011, because I was Strikeforce champion at the time. 2010, he actually joined Strikeforce. And I remember this period because we tried to make the fight happen, but he declined to fight me, which was strange. I was the champion. And they chose for Fabricio Verdum instead, which then subsequently he lost. And then I fought Fabricio 2011 and I beat him. So that's, I think, a little bit where things shifted. And then did he have the Bigfoot? He had the Bigfoot loss after. So that's a little bit where Fedor went a little bit down and I kind of kept rising up. Right, because then afterwards came Brock and UFC.
Yeah, you had some fantastic victories. Brock Lesnar, obviously, he was an absolute monster and you completely destroyed him. So tell me about the experience of being in the octagon with Brock and getting that victory.
Beautiful experience. Behind the scenes, a lot of things didn't go exactly dandy. A lot of, sometimes there's a certain flow in your training camp. Everything just works. There's a certain confidence. It was not there in the Brock fight, I can tell you. I was moving to the States, had difficulty with my management. So much issues in the background, some injuries, and then came the fight. Fortunate we annihilated him, right? There's no question who won that fight. But I remember even walking back out of the cage to the locker room. My ankle was busted. That fight shouldn't have taken an extra round. So it happened perfectly, and yeah, very thankful. But in the background, there were a lot of issues.
Absolutely. Alistair, thank you so much for giving me some time. I really appreciate it. As soon as I get home, I think I'm going to Google that sushi challenge and have a watch of it. But I'm sure it is. But before I let you go, is there anything you want to add about this historic event in Bahrain?
No, looking forward to the fights tomorrow. Yeah, right. First time brave. So I have to immerse myself in the fighting, in the fighters list, who is fighting, what's their background. But I'm excited to be here. There's upbeat energy.
Thank you very much, Alistair. I appreciate your time.